Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? Now, folks, for those of you who don't know, today is Labor Day. It's an American holiday, and it's meant to celebrate people who go to work for a living and receive a paycheck. Now, really, it's kind of a mockery, and I'm not even going to cut bones. The American and Western European economies for working class, particularly unskilled workers, is horrible. Unemployment is high amongst them, wages are low, underemployment's through the roof, benefits are basically gone, and really, realistically, because of this influx of third world scab labor, outright third world scab labor, American working class people have remained in the same exact place that their grandfathers were in 1964 when you account for inflation, and they have less benefits. So they've actually went backwards. That's right. Their pensions are less secure. Their jobs are less secure. All of this job creation, they're Mick jobs. You know, McDonald's jobs, Wendy's jobs, Walmart jobs. But they're not real jobs. Men in factories that make TVs and radios and cars and boats and planes and trucks and all these other things that are needed to keep a modern economy going. They're service economy junk. They're garbage goods. But there's no real tangible things that are being sold, really. In a big way, the American GDP and labor numbers are Soviet accounting. All right? Gau's plan was probably closer to reality than what Washington, D.C. tells us, folks. Now, for those of you in Europe, I don't imagine it's any different. I can't imagine that your leaders have any more regard for you. Because that's how it comes down to. That's what the problem is. Our leaders and the big movers and shakers with the money are not loyal to working class people. They don't consider them to be brethren. They consider them to be economic units. And once you're worth less, once you cost 1 penny more than the Filipino or the Vietnamese or whoever else, chuck you down the river they will. Throw you right over the side of the boat. No loyalty at all. You could have been the most loyal little serf. Under the boat you go. This liberal capitalist system has no soul. It has no honor. And thus its mockery it makes of the workers as it celebrates them on a holiday while it's exporting the factories that they need for the good middle class jobs to support their families, their homes, while it's bringing in this barbarism into their neighborhoods, into their schools, and threatening their children's future. It's sickening. It is disgusting, truly. And I'm sorry if people, you say be calm. Generally I do believe that we should be as calm and rational as we can, but some things, by God, make me angry. And these carpetbaggers selling our country out, these scallywags, these turncoats, they tend to make me a touch angry, yeah. Just a little, because I firmly believe that the working class and the small farmer and the small business class together, those three are the foundation of any good, stable, long-lasting society. Not just a business proposition like America's become, but a society, a real nation that's greater than some money to be made, that has, a basis in biology, in familialism, in close emotional bonds between people in tight-knit communities that actually understand and care about each other. This market spits in the face of every value I was ever taught was good. I mean, in school I was taught truth, justice, the American way. Well, the American way used to be, this is what I was taught. This is how I picked it up in the 1970s and 80s, early 80s, was to do right, to stick up for what is good, and to generally be benevolent, I suppose, to others, right? So truth, justice, and be good to people. I guess we could make that, right? That's kind of what I learned at a very young age, right there with, I pledge allegiance to the, right? Okay? But these people spit on that. They talk about it. They talk about duty and service. Well, and, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the Army. I'm not against the men in the military. But what are they serving? This Washington, D.C. establishment? I understand they need paychecks. I got that, you know? But when these people in Washington, D.C. talk about service, they mean exactly in the same way that the pigs on Animal Farm mean Boxer was of good service to them. That you were useful, and then they could crush you up like a used up can and throw you away. And this is what they do. And they're doing this right now to the working class. They've been doing it since Ronnie Reagan, since that amnesty in 86, was it? Okay. And now with this H-1B visa game, they're starting to do it to the middle class. Okay? You know, at the same time, they're starting to push to take these scabs, these Mexicans, whatever, these illegals, and put them in the military so that they'll have a Praetorian Guard. Okay, folks? This, you know, I celebrate labor. I really do. My hands have worked. My back has done its time, okay? I have a humongous garden out here that I grow still, and I still, you know, okay? And my shoulder's been tore, you know, on top of dislocated elbows or whatever, okay, you know, right? I understand what it is to work, and I understand what it is to, you know, be poor. I was born pretty poor, okay? I understand about poverty, all right? So I definitely celebrate labor, but I will not celebrate these hypocrites that suck working class and middle class people dry like some kind of psychic vampires, some kind of economic vampires, trying to pretend that they're our buddies now, that they've given us a holiday. Well, you know what? They haven't given us anything. Everything in existence is because of us. The people who mine the coal, the people who dig the rocks, the people who put in the power lines and the water lines and the sewer lines and all of this. All of civilization depends on us. It depends upon the middle class administrators too, and the middle class, you know, technicians. But what exactly do the people with the money do that we couldn't do ourselves if we just handed out monopoly money and called it money? So, you know, folks, this Labor Day, I'd like for you to think to yourself, I'd like to try to turn this around and make it positive, okay? Because you got all this negative here. Okay. Now let's try to put it into positive. I want you to ask yourself, where does the value that the money represents come from? Right there. Right there is where it comes from. Okay? So it seems to me that once the working class people get their head out of this apathy and the middle class people get off their high horse and the two come together, seems you'll have a functioning economy that won't depend upon these parasites that are shipping your jobs overseas, that won't depend upon these scum who stole trillions of dollars from the American government, gave it to themselves, and then left you and your children's children with the bill. Okay? Now, basically, I look forward to a Labor Day in America where the national people are free to labor peacefully and keep the rewards of their own labor without being pillaged by this multi-cult tyranny in Washington, D.C., by these hypocrites on Wall Street and in Chicago and London. And frankly, from there, I would love to see all of the rest of Europe liberated from this wretched system that hates its own foundation. It's so irrational. The working class are the foundation of a strong folk. But then liberalism hates folk and thinks only in terms of money. So that perhaps is its first error, can I say. With that, those of you who work for a living, I salute you. And these other people who are stole from you and lie to you and tell you how much they value you, don't listen to their false words. Pay attention to their actions and their intentions for you. With that, y'all have a nice day. Be well. Be good to each other.